Welcome back to Up the Villa, and if you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. That number is just absolutely huge. It's incredible that we're nearly there. So with your help, you can help us get there. So make sure you are subscribing, smash a like, and as always, get involved in the comment section down below. We've got big things coming to the channel this season. It's going to be the biggest and the best season Aston Villa have had, and also on this channel as well. We've got so many cool concepts coming. Big things are happening. One thing that's happening is that we have now partnered with AVFC Scout, who is going to be on the tactical debriefs with me on every single one. So they are going to be bigger, better, more in depth, our own graphics as well. So we've partnered up, we're collabing, we're working together, and that's going to be on the debrief as well. So make sure you are subscribing. Let's get to 20,000 as quick as we can now. Right, so another one. Aston Villa are linked with Karim Adeyemi. This is coming from the Mail Sport that Aston Villa are monitoring the situation. Now, we know different countries work in different time zones, but Adeyemi works in a different speed zone compared to everybody else, because I've got to say, on the eye test, he looks the quickest footballer I have ever watched. He's in a different speed zone. It looks like when you're watching him that you've speeded that video up to like ×6 and everybody else is chasing him. But he's a wonderfully gifted player, a player that can play across the front line, on the left, on the right, and through the middle. His movement and manipulation with the ball is absolutely first class. It feels like, again, a different speed zone. Then he's in a different time zone with his manipulation of the ball. His finishing is very good. His dribbling is a massive strength. And he's such a dynamic, expressive, fun player to watch. And Aston Villa are linked with Karim Adeyemi. So let's have a look then at his SofaScore rating, and we'll build a bit of a profile on him. But it's a really exciting one for us to be linked with. And I think it's one of those where any young, exciting player that is going to be an absolute baller is being linked with Aston Villa, and rightly so, because that's the market that we're in. We're in the market now of trying to get the best young footballers that are across Europe and possibly global as well. So I think that's the market that we're in. So, you know, Karim Adeyemi is up for grabs, and obviously Villa's name is in that hat as well. I think Juventus are in there as well. I think Chelsea have been linked as per, but you know, I think it's an exciting one. And if we're linked with him, if there's a possible deal to get done at a good price and it fits Villa, then I think Villa will be all over this. So a German international, 22 years of age, back in that left-footed zone as well. Market value of 29 million. He has key strengths, like I say, of his dribbling, his movement, his finishing, his versatility would be a big strength as well. We have got that he can play on the left wing, right wing, and as a striker. He currently plays for Dortmund. He's got a SofaScore rating of 6.69 over last season. You can see from the heat map that it was predominantly on that left-hand side, but he did feature on the right as well. He played 21 games, started 10, scored 3 goals, and he'd got 1 assist. We've got accuracy per game of 78%. In his own half, 84%. Opposition half, 66%. And I think this is important as well when we start to look at attacking players and we look at their numbers and their passing numbers. I think it's important that sometimes that the attacking numbers in the opposition half are slightly lower. The worst thing you want is an attacking player that has got a 99% passing accuracy. That shows me that he don't take enough risks. So the fact that it's slightly lower is good, because it shows that he's progressive and he's trying to get those passes off as well. So that's important to note. We've got total duels 41%, successful dribbles 36%. We've got aerials at 61%, ground duels at 38%. If we have a look at his other numbers that are on FB Ref as well. So we've got 4.33 progressive carries. We've got 1.72 successful take-ons. Progressive passes received is high as 8.11. We've got interceptions at 0.61, blocks at 1, aerials at 1.06, total shots per 90 at 2.11, shot creating actions per 90 at 2.94. So some of those stats are pretty good as well. And then if we have a little look at transfer market, his transfer market value is at 28 million. We've got him playing, like I say, on the left as a centre forward and on that right-hand side. And I think the big thing for Villa is that what we notice now with Villa is that a lot of our players can play across the front line, which is vitally, vitally important. So we can see that some of his career as well, he's been at Bayern Munich youth level. He's been at RB Salzburg. And then he moved to Dortmund for a fee of 30 million. He's played at the Germany youth level at under 16, 17, 21. And he's made 4 appearances for the German national side with 1 assist. So this rumour, it's exciting. It's another exciting player that's linked with a move to Aston Villa. So I really like him. I think he would be dynamic. So I just thought I would bring you the latest rumour and noise surrounding Aston Villa. Now, some other news surrounding Aston Villa is John Duran. Fabrizio is reporting that Aston Villa have sort of had an offer from West Ham at around 30 million plus a West Ham youth player. And I think for me now, I'm just at the stage where 30, 35, 40, I don't know who this youth player is, but he's got to go. It's got to go, and it's got to be done as quick as possible because we're in America now. I can't see him joining up with our pre-season tour. So I think the quicker that one is done, the better. Moussa Diaby went yesterday. That one is also done. That combined fee of what we've got for those two would be absolutely massive. And I've had a feeling from yesterday, and it's just a feeling, it's a gut feeling. I think we're in for João Felix. I honestly feel like we are going to sign him. I think the rumour has been there for too long now for me. You know, sometimes you'll see a rumour and it'll pop up and then it'll just disappear and then that's it. You see some that sort of stay for a bit and you start to think there's something in it and then someone moves away from that deal. But this João Felix just feels like it's there too long now. It feels like there's been nothing that's sort of come away from it to sort of squash it, whether that's on the Atletico, whether it's on the Barca, whether it's on the player's side, whether the agent or whether it's Villa. And I think he is Unai Emery's top target this summer. I think he's been his top target for a very, very long time. The minute he stepped in at Villa, I think he was the player that Emery's wanted. And I think Aston Villa are all in on João Felix. And that's just my opinion. But I also have an inner feeling in here that he's coming to Villa. I've just got, honestly, Villa fans, I've got a big, big feeling that Felix joins Villa. And I think it would be possibly one of the biggest signings I think we have done. I think it would be a massive statement signing. I think it would be absolutely huge. And I think there's a lot of different things that you see and what you read, and you see like Coutinho 2.0. And I just don't see that. I think you look at Coutinho, and Coutinho was at the very end of his, I'm not saying career, but he was in his, 29, 30, 31, something like that when he joined. And he'd already been through the prime Liverpool days. He'd been at Barca, and then he come to Villa at the back end, and it just didn't work. This is like João Felix, not even in his prime yet. And I think when he was at Benfica, he broke through and he was absolutely amazing. and the clubs that he's been at, sort of Atletico, Barcelona, for whatever reason, it's not worked out. But the kid needs a home. He needs a home, and he needs to reinvent himself. I'm not saying he needs to reinvent his career, but he needs to reinvent João Felix. And who better to nurture and put him in the school of Unai Emery than Unai Emery getting his hands on João Felix and developing him and making him better and making him an absolute superstar. You know, if you look at Felix, he's not really in the Portuguese side. He's on the bench. You know, there's got to be that inner drive from the player as well to get back to that level. And what motivation to come to Villa in the Champions League, who are looking up the table, not down, to come to a club and be one of the main players. I honestly feel like this deal would absolutely transform us. He would transform our forward line. He would be perfect for Ollie Watkins. And I really want that transfer to happen because I personally believe that he could be an absolute superstar at Aston Villa. So the João Felix, I'm all in on João Felix. I think he would be absolutely unbelievable. I think Unai would turn him into an absolute monster. I think he would be absolutely brilliant. And in some other news, you know, Villa are now in America. And I spoke about who I wanted to see on the plane and who I thought it was really important to see on the plane. And we have got a new duo at Villa. That we have got a new duo of Ramsey and Rodgers at Aston Villa. This duo and combination are going to be absolutely fire for Villa next season. So Ramsey, he is on the tour, which is absolutely massive. I think the first two pre-season friendlies were, you could have probably played them behind closed doors at Villa. They were very just training ground-esque. But you know when you get to America, your main bulk of your pre-season, that's where it proper starts. This is where we're going to start to see partnerships. We're going to start to see combinations. We're going to start to see Emery's system evolve. We're going to start to see the early indications of what we are and what we're going to become next season with the ball tactically. So for me, it is vitally important that no player misses pre-season. It is so important. So for Ramsey to be there is absolutely massive. For another player to be there, well, we've got Maatsen. So Maatsen's chilling there with his pillow. We've got Cash. Tielemans is there. We've got Onana there as well. Pau is there. And the big one, Emi Buendia is on the American tour, which is absolutely massive. So again, I can't wait to see him back on the pitch. I can't wait to see him doing his stuff. I've seen a bit of him with the ball in training as well, which is just makes me so happy. So Buendia is there. Tyrone Mings is not there. So Tyrone Mings isn't on the tour. We've got Enzo with the, it looks like he's already got the Villa line on his arm as well. So Enzo is there. That's a nice little naughty vest, isn't it? We've got McGinn there, and we have got Buendia and Pau as well. So we pretty much, everybody's there, apart from Mings. And then we haven't got there Watkins, Konsa. Those are the two that aren't there as well because and Martinez, because they got to the Copa America and the Euro final, and they will probably be coming in a couple of weeks' time because they need their full rest. I did hear that we are big on giving all of our players the correct amount of rest between the Euros, the Copa, and just where they are, so they come back ready, refined, refreshed, and raring and ready to go. What a combo that was. What a combo that was. Right, so there we go. And I think that's basically it. So we've had a transfer hub. We've had a bit of Villa news. Big one. Let's get this channel to 20k. You can all play a massive part in doing so if you aren't already subscribed. If you are subscribed, then share us in your group, share us with your family, get your mates on involved as well. And I'm just so buzzing to be able to create the content for you going into this season. It is going to be very, very good. And it's nothing without you guys and your support and your input and your comments and everything that you guys put out there as well, you know. So, yeah, you're all absolute legends. So if you can all subscribe, let's get us to 20K. We will be doing... Now, this is why you should subscribe as well. We will be doing the watch along at 1 o'clock on Sunday morning. So we'll be going live at 12:45. So we'll be live on Sunday morning for the watch along. And we will be there with our black coffees. We will be there with our pillows in our Villa pajamas watching the game. Now, I won't really be in my Villa pajamas. You won't want to watch. But no, we will be there. So I'm really excited because we know we've got the main bulk of our squad there now as well. So it might be the first time we watch Onana, Maatsen in a Villa shirt. So can't wait for it. So if there's any other news that drops in between, then we'll be there. If not, then we'll see you on the watch along on Sunday morning. Up the Villa.